I was surprised at just how many alleged bandits had taken over the Shaba Reserve may have been evident, but when the police arrived, what happened was totally unexpected. It seemed like both sides were preparing to battle each other. Everyone taking their positions. Even Senior Deputy Commandant Abdu Shiria's body language and the fact that he was armed and ready made a face-off seem imminent. But the administration police's brief today was hardly one of disarmament. Their orders were to chase the cattle away. We were relieved that no shots had been fired, but confused as to why a battalion of fully armed administration police had not taken on the alleged bandits who were literally a stone's throw away from them.
You know, they are mixed up, because if we start now firing, we may kill an innocent person.
This is because just this year, over 300 home guards from the district and surrounding districts had been armed by the government. And allegations have been rife since that home guards have been fighting alongside bandits using their new artillery. Of equal concern was the notable absence of any wildlife in the Shaba Game Reserve. Driving through, it felt more like a cattle ranch than one of Kenya's hitherto most famous game reserves. It was evident that wildlife tourism had hit its lowest ebb. And again, the gun was responsible. Back at the Isiolo District Hospital, we got to meet two people who know all too well the wrath of bandits. Sergeant Aden Galgalo, a game ranger with the Isiolo Municipal Council, sits up to speak to us. His calm demeanor hides the fact that just 2 days before he was hospitalized, he performed one of the most heroic acts of his life. He was accompanying two Spanish tourists on a tour of the park when it happened.
Nilitoka hapo kwa gate kuelekea lodge. Ni 2 kilomita from the gate. Na hapo kabla kufika lodge niliatakiwa na wanaume wanne. Sijaribu kupigana na hao walishiwa na risasi wakanitoroka.
At the end of the gun battle with 4 bandits, he had saved the tourists' lives, but his body paid the price. We noticed his bandaged shoulders and right thigh, 4 bullet wounds, 2 in each shoulder and 2 in the thigh. He's been a ranger for 13 years, but this experience was one he had never encountered.
As I mean, nilikuwa 96. Asijaona bunduki kwa park, ako na G3, AK na M16.
He tells us that there's more than meets the eye to the invasion of the Shaba Game Reserve.
Na wanasema kosi ni Jilali sasa kuchunga bila bunduki. Samani tunajua wanachunga bila bunduki, sasa hii wanachunga na bunduki. Ndio hata tumechanga na wako wengi kuliko sisi, hata tumeshindwa kufanya hata kazi ya kupeleka wageni park.
Down the hall from him, Archdeacon Abdirahman recovers from a bullet wound in his hip. He was coming back from mission work in Merti when bandits surrounded his car. And even as he is thankful that he made it through the onslaught, he knows that the past few months have seen an upsurge in banditry concentrated in this area that, despite the history of the Upper East, is unnatural for this region.
When we were coming from Merti, we saw 3 people running away. I was a bit scared. Nikauliza, why are they running away? Then kulikuwa na kijana mmoja ndani ya gari akasema, ukiona hao wamekimbia hizo bunduki, zile sio halali. So inamaanisha bunduki nyingi ziko katika kichaka.
They both know that they were lucky to have survived attacks from bandits, but many have not been so fortunate. We stopped over at the Sarova Shaba Hotel to see what the effect of banditry has had on the 21-year-old establishment, and we were the first guests to arrive. The hotel, with 86 rooms, is empty, completely void of any hint of a guest. So are the banks of the Owasonyiro River. This is what tourists are accustomed to seeing. But this is the river crossing that we experienced, which was far less awe-inspiring. The monkeys of the Sarova Shaba now have animals of a more domesticated flavor to look upon. As we were filming, we were shocked to see one of the bandits walk along the banks of the river. He notices that we're watching, but makes no move to indicate that he's going to hide. With his gun perched across his shoulders, he walks on. Such are the sights that tourists have witnessed, and the staff here has had to live with. Rampant insecurity and attacks on tourists have seen the rooms that you see behind me here at the Sarovar Shaba empty at a time when it's supposed to be the peak season for this hotel. Now, if nothing is done to sort out the security situation here in Upper Eastern Province, then the prospects of the once prestigious Sarovar Shaba remain dark. Even at dinner, we're still the hotel's only guests. The hotel manager, Jane Ngwata, feels a sense of despair looming for this hotel, and she's had enough.
It is time to speak out and say it as it is and ask for help from the government. And we need help now. We see a hidden agenda for this situation to continue for so long, and also to allow criminals just to take over a situation. They know it, but they're not doing anything about it.
We leave the following morning, having seen just how bad the situation is here. But the refrain from all that we have interviewed has been that politics is in no small part responsible for the misfortune that has befallen the Shaba. And again, we're confronted with the sight of a standoff. We haven't got very far into the park, and already we've spotted a number of administration police officers camped on one side of the river, Wasongiro, trying to push some warriors who are camped on the other side and grazing their cattle off the reserve because of what they're doing to the wildlife here. But these guys are so brazen and armed to the teeth that they've refused to move, even in the face of about 15 men carrying G3 rifles. Later, we interview the area OCPD, and he confirms to us that there definitely is something afoot politically that's holding back disarmament.
Whoever is found with an illegal firearm in this park is supposed to be disarmed. We are ready, and we have that mandate to disarm. In fact, it is part of the operational plan to disarm anybody found with an illegal firearm within this park. So far, none. Tuwezi sema ni kazi bure, because kazi ya askari pia kufuata amri, na amri ni ile unapata mwisho.
As we go deeper into the Shaba's reserve, we seek those answers not just from the police, but from those who are said to be the aggressors in this latest violence.
Kuna bunduki ya watu. Naweza pigwa risasi tukienda kule juu. Kuna mwingine hapo kule. Angalia! Hero! Wewe sisi hatuna shida. No, there's one. Unamu. Kuna mtu amekaa hapo chini ya mwanagani.
John Allen Namu, KTN for the Inside Story.